Welcome back, everybody. A medical collision course is on the way as the cold and flu season collides with COVID.
Well, you might be able to get vaccinated against COVID and the flu. Colds are a little bit more elusive, and colds can lower your chances of then fighting off the others. So new this morning, John Shumway is looking into the cold and flu season in the age of COVID. And, you know, we had this last year, right? We got to experience this a little bit last year, but more and more people are going back to the office. Kids are back in school, so we're going to see the colds ramp up.
Yeah, and the kids bring home all sorts of great stuff from school,
they do.
don't they?
Yeah, we're just waiting for the stomach bug. That's coming.
It's such a joy. Well, because of COVID, it's probably more important now to take the cold and flu season even more seriously than in the past. The answers to avoiding the illnesses may actually require a few lifestyle adjustments, beginning with number one.
I would say get adequate amounts of sleep. Absolutely.
Why?
Most important thing. Because it keeps the immune system healthy. It keeps the immune system being able to respond.
Allegheny Health Network's Dr. Jennifer Priest says there's no avoiding the medicinal value of sleep.
I think if you are exposed to a cold or a virus and you haven't had enough sleep, you'll get into trouble and your body will not be able to make the antibodies it needs to fight off infection.
Next up in the big three is what you are eating.
Good nutrition. Making sure that you get adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables, adequate amounts of protein, moderate carbohydrates, both simple and complex carbohydrates. Staying away from sugary, heavy laden sugar type foods and drinks are very important.
Dr. Priest says elevated sugar levels reduce your body's ability to defend itself.
Not saying you can't ever have them, but they are not friendly to your immune system.
And she says there is no substitute for some form of exercise.
There is lots and lots of data that people who exercise have a much healthier, more reactive immune system.
And all of this is true for our children as well.
Sleep is incredibly important, nutrition is incredibly important, and exercise is incredibly important.
So while we would all like to look for shortcuts, Dr. Priest says the basics are still pretty much the best defense, especially in this time of COVID. It keeps your immune system at its most effective.
Right. So I think a lot of us will grab some vitamins thinking, hey, if I take enough vitamin C, I'm going to be okay.
Well, for some people that may be true, but for a lot of people it's totally unnecessary. And we're going to talk about that coming up, including what Dr. Priest says is the #1 supplement that we probably all should be taking around here. And we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
That is coming up a
with
little
a
later.
wink at the camera.
Yeah. I never knew about the sugary foods. Like, I knew sugary foods in general were not good for you, but I didn't know it affected your immune system.
Yeah, it reduces your immune capability.
All right. Thanks, John. We appreciate it. We'll see you in a bit.